Hello there! Welcome back to another video. I'm pretty excited to be back. Like I said in my previous video, I don't know how consistent we'll be, but we're at least trying, and I'm actually really excited about this build. Just because I don't know, I guess I've been gone for a little bit and I've just come back and I've really just tried doing a lot of cool things with this build. So you'll kind of see it as we progress. But yeah, so I'm not sure what I called this build. Oh, it's really annoying. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's been sirens going off like for 5 minutes straight. And just as I said that, they have stopped. Okay, well, anyways, I had to wait like 5 minutes for the sirens to just die down, and I guess now it finally has. Anyways, yeah, back to the build. I mean, that's what you get for living in New York City. Lots of sounds. I'm good in the fact that I live like on the 7th floor, so it's a little bit away from the streets, but at the same time, you know, it's New York City. We're gonna get a lot of like noise and a lot of commotion and stuff. So finding a quiet place to record these voiceovers is a little bit tough. But anyways, yeah. Well, now that I got a better microphone, hopefully it didn't pick up the sirens too much. Because a couple of minutes ago it was way louder. It kind of sounded like it was outside my window or something. Anyways, this build, I have a lot of time to just chat about random things because this is a longer build. It's about like 28 minutes, and yeah. So I was being a little ambitious with this build, being one of basically the first build that I'm doing coming back into filming these videos. And yeah, I was kind of planning on what kind of videos to do because at the time, so the Sims 4 terrain came out, like terrain editing came out. So I was like, okay, I definitely want to do a build with terrain in it, or, a build where I can edit the terrain and do something really cool. So we end up doing a ginormous mansion, which we don't finish. Oh, also, if you didn't already know from like the title or the thumbnail or whatever, this is part 1. Part 2 will be coming out later. I haven't filmed it, so I don't know how many parts this will be, but it is a colossal build. It is pretty large, and even saying that, we don't even start to furnish this build yet. Furnishing is gonna definitely be a beast, and to be honest, we don't even finish like the exterior really. I did the exterior of the front, and then I had no energy anymore to do the back, so we did decide to go straight to the garden because I have been kind of dabbling with wanting to do a really intricate garden for quite a while. So that is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a really fancy, almost flamboyant yard, I guess. And yeah, so as you can see right now, it's kind of bland. You just have the house on a blank lot, but by the end of this video, the garden is gonna take like a whole complete 360. It's gonna be completely different. It has a lot of like different sort of leveling, because we were gonna be playing with terrain editing. So yeah, and I thought this was actually a really good lot. I was kind of hesitant at first about putting this home on this sort of lot in Brindleton Bay, but I think it turned out pretty well, especially because going into the lot, you can kind of see there's even like a fountain right in front of the home, and it's almost like meant to be a mansion build on this lot. So yeah, it actually turned out really well. And then you have like, this lot is like beautiful. You have almost panoramic like ocean views. I'm not sure if it's ocean. I assume it's ocean. It could be like a sea or something like that, but yeah, so as you can kind of see, this is sort of the shape. I haven't finalized the shape at all. We might change it up, who knows, but yeah, so as we have it right now, we are doing a pretty bright red roof. And initially I was not about this roof, just because it seemed way too bright, and then I thought that Well, I definitely wanted to have a sort of red tone roof because this style of home is a little bit like Mediterranean, a little bit Spanish style. So I've seen a lot of builds that are kind of like that, and they always have like a reddish roof. So I wanted to do something similar, but then when I initially put the red roof on, it just looked it was like too much of a contrast between the white walls. So I decided to tone down the walls. So I put it in a more tanner color, like almost like a skin tone, but a dull skin tone. It's kind of like a mixture between brown and just gray. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, after I added some of those windows, I actually quite liked the color scheme. And yeah, unfortunately, I wish we had like more curved windows, kind of like that. Who knows? I mean, there could be other curved windows in the other like expansion packs or like stuff packs or all those kind of stuff, but I don't have all of them, so I'm just kind of working with what I have. And yeah, so we are using those curved windows, and I quite liked them. They were really large, and for some reason I always liked sort of like curved archways and curved doors and windows for this kind of style of home. So that's what we're doing. And yeah, so we are just building a really super grand entrance to this ginormous mansion. I have no idea how I'm gonna furnish this build. Here's the thing, with all these like mansion builds, I always enjoy doing the exterior, but doing the interior is just, it's a big feat, you know? You have to do every single room, and you kind of want like, it's not like you ever want to half-ass it, right? You always want to just try your best, do things, I was gonna say try your best, but you don't succeed. But try your best and just, just try your best and try to make everything very beautiful, because, if you half-ass it, people will kind of tell. And yeah, so I don't even know what I was talking about. Anyways, okay, so one thing I wanted to note is that I am not sure I like the door and the window combination. But the thing is, like I was saying before, I really like curves with this kind of style of build, and that door had the curve that I really wanted. Actually, I could take away with that like square frame around it, but I really like the curved part, so I decided to use it. Like I said, I'm not completely done with the exterior of this house yet, so I might actually change it up, but I'm not mad at it. I'm just not quite happy with it. And yeah. So the front almost looks identical, or not identical, symmetrical, but I didn't want it to look too symmetrical because I thought that was a little bit odd. So I did want to change these like, what is this? I don't know what you call them, but these little sections on either side to be a little bit different. So the main section of the home, that is completely like symmetrical, but these like side rooms or side sections, I did want to be a little bit different. So we are doing something different and new, and I kind of like it. I really like the idea of putting like a lot of balconies in this kind of home, so that's what we're gonna try to do, get a lot of doors to the outside. And I really like the colors that I was sort of getting, like a red, a green, and then just kind of like neutral grays and browns. And yeah, so here what we're doing, we are just kind of, I'm not really sure. I've seen like archways used a lot in these kind of builds, so I thought we would do them, and then they would kind of be like a indoor outdoor sort of section. And yeah, so we just have the archways, and then it goes into like a sort of room, and then you actually go into the main house. And yeah, so you'll realize that I use the heck out of these trees. I use them so often. Yeah, you'll see in the garden we do a ton with them. But I kind of like it, especially having a mansion. It's very manicured space. Obviously you can see that we are putting like planters everywhere, which is just raised, what is it, like foundation-y kind of stuff, or using is it the new not foundation height, but the new wall height? I'm not sure. I love the fact that they added the new wall heights, or the half wall heights. Those are great, because it was so weird before when they had it, like, I don't remember how many they had. I want to say like 5, but then there was 3 in the middle or something that were like almost the exact same height. And it's like, I didn't really get it at all. But now they actually made them like incrementally like equidistant, I guess I would say. So I'm much happier with that. And yeah, that's good. Also, something that I really wanted to talk about in this video is the foundation. The foundation, I don't remember, or I don't know if you saw in the sort of beginning of the video, but I was struggling with the foundation so much. There's a section of the video I think that I actually paused because I had to look it up. But I didn't know the foundation like height scale thing. It just, the Sims team just completely like removed it. So you actually have to click on like a room, and then it has like a little icon with a box in it with 2 arrows on either side that you actually can like drag up and down. And that is how you actually adjust the foundation. Now, I'm sure if you're watching, oh my god, my voice just completely cracked. Sorry. I'm sure if you watch my video, you also watch other Sims videos. And one of the top Sims players is, of course, the Sim Supply. I watch him myself, and I'm pretty sure you guys do too. And I think that in a couple videos ago or something, he mentioned how the Sims team just should have put like a disclaimer that asked, or not asked, but that said something about how they moved the changing of foundation height. And I 100% agree, because literally this is proof. It doesn't look that slow, or how I figured. I mean, it didn't take me that long to figure out because I just Googled it, but at the same time, it was just an annoyance, you know? It's like you're so used to the game being a certain way, and all of a sudden when they change it and without like any sort of notification, it just completely like throws you off guard. So the least they could have done is just say something about it. Yeah, and like he even said in the video, like, I don't keep up with every single Sims news. I do try my best to like watch snippets here and there of like the live streams and stuff like that, but for those people who aren't like, for the Sims players who aren't like super dedicated to watching like every single piece of content that the Sims release, it's really hard, you know, to know how to do all these sort of things. And yeah, so that's just, you know, what I'm going to talk about. Would have loved if they said something about changing the foundation, but I did figure out eventually. So that was, I guess, okay. Anyways, so here we are going to the garden, and usually for the like backyard, I kind of leave it plain most of the times because I never know what to do. I don't have, what do they call it? There's a pack that came out, backyard stuff. Yeah, I don't have backyard stuff, so my backyards are usually like really plain and empty. But this one, I was going all out. I still don't have backyard stuff, but we are doing a lot of really cool things with the backyard. Yeah, so as you can see, we have a nice pool. To be honest, the pool size compared to the house size is a little bit, you know, underwhelming, but I didn't have enough space. I would have loved, this is already like a 64 by 64 lot, so you know, it's already the biggest lot that they have, but I would have loved if they had like a 64 by like 80 or something. If they had, you know, 64 by 80, I would have made the yard way more like flamboyant, way more like ambitious, but as we have it right now, it's still pretty good. So we have a pool, and then the back, the back room, I guess that would be like a pool house. I didn't decorate it or anything yet, but we are getting there. And then on the other side of, or on the right, I guess right now, side of the pool, there is, I don't know what you would call it, but I've seen it sometimes in like European, I don't know, like European houses, like fancy houses, that they have, I really don't know what it's called, but it's kind of a cool, like, rectangular section of the home that just has, like, I really don't know how to describe it. You'll see. It's just like four corners with like that surround and middle section thing. Hopefully you get what I'm talking about. Anyways, this part is my favorite part, and we are using terrain. Oh yeah, we're using terrain. This was actually my first time dabbling with terrain, and I think it was hard initially. It definitely was. You know, I'm thinking of like actually doing, well, I kind of wanted to do a tutorial, but at the same time, I can't really do my videos at regular speed, or real-time speed, because my game kind of tends to lag. Not just lag, but also when I record my game, it tends to skip frames, or drop frames or something like that. So I'm not sure how well I can do real-time videos, but I think that just because, you know, I had so much trouble with it, I'm pretty sure a lot of other people have trouble with doing terrain as well. It's definitely like a lot to handle all at once. There's a ton of like different tools and things to see. So, yeah, but I was thinking about that. Anyways, so here's what I'm doing. I don't know if you can understand what's happening right now, but we're trying to do somewhat of like a tiered, sunken terrain. Like a patio that's a sunken patio, basically. And then to get to the sunken patio, we are trying to do a tiered levels. And yeah, so this is kind of what we're dealing with. One of the things I did figure out is that I think, don't quote me on this, but I think there's like a minimum height difference that you need to actually get stairs to cross between the different terrain levels. So as you can kind of see, the pathway, it's odd because it just is like strips down, and you can't actually connect it with stairs. So I found that you actually have to, I'm not sure the number of increments, but I think it's like 4 or 5 increment height difference that you need to get stairs. So later on you'll see that I do finally add stairs in. So there's that. Also with the tiles, you can only put tiles, like floor tiles, on perfectly flat, perfectly flat, like squares. So yeah, that's also why I couldn't connect the pathway that well either. And yeah, so right now it's just super messy. As you can kind of see, it doesn't look like anything, but trust me, at the end, I actually think it looks really cool. I do include tons and tons of screenshots to show you, I guess, how it works, but I think this is so cool. Oh, this is my favorite part of the house so far. I mean, I haven't done much of the house, but that little hedge section in the middle, for some reason, it's my favorite. I decorate it later, and I think it looks so cool. Yeah, but I kind of liked it. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's really cool. This is something that I really wasn't too sure of when I started, but I'm so happy that I actually tried it out and it worked. Yeah, because sometimes, you know, you try things out and they just don't work out how you imagined it, but this actually turned out really well. I was kind of basing this off of a picture, but you know what? I did change it up a lot, especially because, you know, there was things that I couldn't see or didn't, I don't know, just didn't like or something. But I think that it turned out really, really well. And yeah, so see, now we're finally actually putting stairs to the lower level, because I did find out, like I said, that there's kind of like a number of square difference that you need in order to get stairs. So yeah, but I think it's really cool because it kind of like, I've always wanted this in like The Sims. The only thing that would make it better is if it was doable, you know, inside the house, because then we would have split leveling, or just like half stairs that would make like a U-turn or something, like U-stairs, that's what they're called. Yeah, I've always wanted U-stairs because the just straight line stairs, those are like, I feel like they just take up too much space. I mean, technically U-stairs and regular straight stairs probably take up like the same amount of space, but I don't know, just it would add so much more like diverse content to The Sims if we could have like different kind of stairs. I know a lot of people really want spiral staircases. I actually don't really care too much about spiral staircases, but I would really like half stairs. Like I said, U stairs would be awesome. That would be so cool. And yeah, so like I said before, I don't really have backyard stuff, but I was trying to do some different things with each of the sections of the yard. So we do sort of have spaces that I don't think are going to be used that often, but at the same time, my creative juices were really flowing and I really wanted to do it, so I did it. So right here we have like a fountain section, almost like a lap pool, but it's not a pool. Yeah, so it's just a really long fountain, and then in the middle we have the regular pool with the pool house, and on the other side we have more of like the English garden, the more like formal garden, the one that you would put like your fancy plants in and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know, there's a lot of cool stuff with this build, and I'm really happy with the way that it's going. You know what, maybe that break was really good for my sort of builds, because now I'm back and I'm doing like a lot of things that are different. I don't know, maybe, we'll see. Anyways, so this was a pain, but I really just enjoyed the way that it looked. Or did I enjoy the way that it looked? You know what, I think that was so tedious in the moment that I was like, you know what, we're gonna keep it, we're not gonna remove it just because it took me so long to do. But yeah, so we created this random divider thing. I'm not even sure what this is, but I just kind of wanted to decorate the side of the terrain just because it's rocks right now. So I wanted to do something that would almost cover it because it kind of looked ugly. And yeah, we might do something else too, because there's the other two sides that are a little bit empty. So you know what, we're gonna come back. Yeah. Okay, so that section just now that I deleted, that was so ugly, and I'm so glad we're finally changing it up, and I'm really happy with the way that this finally turns out. And yeah, so at this point, you know, I did a little bit more foundation, so I'm or not foundation, but terrain, so I'm understanding how the tools work a little bit more, and then I keep raising the terrain because I know that there's a certain distance that the stairs have to be. So that is what I'm doing. And yeah, so we're doing a lot of like different stair levels, and I really like it. I think it adds so much like depth and dimension to this lot. So cool, so cool. I'm really happy the way that it turned out, and I hope that you are too. And yeah, so up here I did struggle a little bit with what to put here because I wasn't sure, like it was kind of dead space, and like I said, this house isn't supposed to have dead space in the yard. So what we end up doing, which maybe we'll get into pretty soon, but we end up putting a gazebo. Yeah, just some random stuff, and it's nice. Like the gazebo has like a really nice spot, you can see the ocean really well, so that's really nice. The thing is, I would have really liked it if my game had hot tubs. I know the game has hot tubs, but I don't have it personally, so the gazebo would perfectly fit a hot tub. So if you guys have one in your game, you know, definitely put that in there, because I think that it fits really well as well. So yeah, anyways, so now we are finally, I guess, landscaping and putting a bunch of like plants around, and I think it looks so cool. I mean, you guys can say differently, but I mean, I don't care. I think it looks really cool. It just looks so lush and nice. The only thing that I'm scared about is that because our yard is already so complex and it has a lot of different elements, I'm a little bit nervous that my game might start to lag. I'm a little bit scared that it might crash or something, because yeah, okay, this is the gazebo, by the way, which I think looks really cool. I might change those posts though, because I think that they don't really look that good. Actually, this was a test. This was just to see, is it gonna look good? And it did actually look good, so I might change it up slightly to be a little bit better. Anyways, like I said, I'm a little bit nervous that this game is going to either slow down or just completely crap itself, because there's a lot of stuff and we haven't even got to the interior. And like I said, this is a big build. It's a mansion build. The interior is going to take a lot of items. So we're going to see how this works out. I'm using a ton of trees. And yeah, if you are also wondering, the trees, they are like, when you zoom in, they're fine. But when you zoom out, they just look stupid. They kind of look like, when you bring, I guess I'm in the Christmas mood, but when you bring home a Christmas tree, and like a real Christmas tree, and then you put it in the net to like be safe, to save space, like it kind of like bundles up, so it kind of looks like that. But anyways, here you can't see it just because I hyped the game up, or not hyped the game up, I improved my game graphics and stuff, so here is fine. But you'll notice when we actually do building and stuff, that my voice is just not happy today. I wonder if you can hear how many cracks are happening in my voice. It's just, I don't know. I blame it on the cold. It's pretty cold right now. It's not as cold as it can be, but I don't know. I just came back, started up my computer, and just decided to do the voiceover right here and right now. But yeah. Anyways, so I have a ton of these pictures for you guys, ton of these. I love it. I think it looks so cool. You know what would make it better? If it had like, I should change up the tiles to do those like, if I had Jungle Adventure, I would totally put those cool tiles in. Yeah, but unfortunately I don't. You know what? I love this build. It's a really cool build. Definitely not, my usual style, but I'm so happy with it. Yeah. Also, something I didn't mention, there on the side of this garden, I wanted to do almost like a hedge maze, but like I said, I watched James Turner's videos, the Sim Supplies videos, and he did like a hedge maze thing, and it didn't turn out well. It crashed his game, so I'm not really sure if I should do that in my game. But anyways, yeah, as we're wrapping up, we're just gonna do a little bit of some like aerial shots of the garden. I really like it. I like how it's very like multi-dimensional. Is this the same screenshot as I had before? Maybe not. Anyways, floor plans, not super interesting because I haven't done house yet, but yeah, one last screenshot of the garden, and yeah. So anyways, thank you guys so much for, I'm way ahead of myself. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.